Tigers, Bulldogs, Saints. Welcome to DC Blitz, presented by DeKalb County Insurance.
Morning, we are at Smithville First Baptist
Tigers,
Church, and we are set for another
Bulldogs,
edition of DC Blitz presented
Saints.
by DeKalb County Insurance. Tom Duggan alongside the coach Chris Vance. Casey Midget. Kelly is running around Sumner County today, covering watching 2 or 3 games, going from here to there. She needs a clone, as she was telling us. She's got a lot of places to be at one time, but good to be here this morning. We got a great lineup for you. Coming up around 9:15, we're going to talk some Lady Tiger tennis. Charlotte Paladino, Abby Jo Crook, and Jayde Lester will be our special guests, and I think they just walked in. Matter of fact, around the bottom of the hour, we'll talk some DeKalb County track and field. Michael Gamble and Dan Rodgers are scheduled to be here. Of course, we'll announce our Good Health Family Clinic Student Athlete of the Week. Right now, and I know this is not technically local sports news, but we have breaking news.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
We have breaking news. If you are a Tennessee Vol fan, Nico Iamaleava is leaving the University of Tennessee. Actually, the University of Tennessee is leaving Nico Iamaleava. All this drama from the last few days. It was announced this morning that they are parting ways. Apparently, Nico's not making enough money, and Tennessee was not happy. He didn't show up to practice, and with all this coming right around spring ball and everything, I got this to say. I don't blame these kids for wanting to get paid because the NCAA, they've opened this up. They've opened Pandora's box here, so these kids have a right to get paid. I don't blame him for wanting to get the money. I do blame the timing of this situation. It's very awkward, and I think, I tell you the truth, from what I've heard, there's a lot of his teammates on the Tennessee team, Coach, that they were a little turned off by all this.
Well, and I think you have to be, and there's obviously more than one way to look at this. A lot of information that I have that I will share came from 104.5 The Zone yesterday. I was able to listen to Chris Lowe as I was getting home, and there are 2 different transfer portal windows, and one is in the fall, one is in the spring, and the one in the spring you cannot play for an SEC school if you transfer at that particular time, but the one in the fall, and this was what I'm taking from that interview that he gave, was that he announced to UT, went to them like the day before the portal closes, and is like, we need to talk.
Yeah.
And if he's looking around, going to be starting his second year as the starting quarterback, and he's looking around at what these other guys are getting paid, athlete, any business person, whatever, why not?
Yeah.
But then again, somebody said, where's your loyalty to the school?
Yeah.
And maybe there just isn't any loyalty, and, we can bring this into high school, transfers, one time, all that whole deal, is the landscape, and it is, the landscape of athletics, period, across any board, changing forever, and it is.
The college football we all grew up and loved is gone. It's over. It's done. And again, I don't have a problem with the student athletes getting paid. This is a multi-million-dollar enterprise. College football is, Casey. You can't blame these kids. Again, I mean, if Nico goes out and blows a knee out first game of the season, and let's just say it's something career-ending, well, you got to make bank while you can. I don't have a problem with that since NCAA has made that a rule. But again, it's all in the timing. And I think this is more of a Tennessee decision than it is a Nico decision. And for that, I'm supportive of the University of Tennessee.
To quote one of my favorite movies, Tombstone, well, bye.
That's just a great quote. And plain and simple, right? Yeah. I'm a lever, as his name looks like.
Yeah.
He's a lefter. But we move on. I mean.
No, I'm proud of the Tennessee team and coaches. I felt like they'd cave, to be honest with you. And them not, I think, helps college football, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It stems the tide a little bit. I don't think it's going to stop anything. It's going to get worse from here. the thing that I worry about in college football is that, we all love Tennessee so much. I mean, it's just, you just live and die by them. And this new wave of, the way they're paying the players and all this now and the way that they can shop around, I really worry that it's going to steal a lot of joy from watching college football.
Already has. I mean, we're more of a generation ago for sure where you loved your institute and the players came there and there was loyalty and they wanted to be a Tennessee Vol. You think of an Al Wilson and how much it meant for him to be a Tennessee Vol going before that, Reggie White, and nowadays it's all about the money. And again, don't blame the student athlete. Blame the people running the ship here because they've opened this door. But it's not going to ever again be what it was, during the time we watched it. Now, the younger generation, they may be fine because that's what they're going to grow up watching, and that's going to be their normal, Coach. But for us, now I look at Saturday afternoons in the fall, I'd rather go watch Junior Pro because it's just kids out there playing the game and having fun, or go take a hike. When the weather's all nice, where's the loyalty to us as fans? There is none. So I think a lot of fans are going to be turned off by just watching this. What's become the NFL on the collegiate front, basically.
You referred to it a minute ago, and a word popped in mind, regulation. There is no regulation on this.
None.
Absolutely zero. Is it going to be – and we're hearing about a general manager, and beyond an athletic director for colleges now that you think, well, that's unheard of. But there's no regulation. We're going to get to a salary cap. It's going to be all these other things that need to be in place to make this thing – somewhat manageable and understandable, but like you said, the loyalty and what used to be, even in high school sports, the neighborhoods, and our neighborhood is better than your neighborhood, that's gone.
Yeah.
You know what? What that portal has, who that's hurt more than anybody is people like Isaac Knowles, that's up there at Tech, that was a great athlete, could have played, college ball, anywhere around, I think. It was a good enough athlete. But what happens is every year that portal opens up and these players can come in and keep pushing him down the depth chart up there.
Yeah.
And so I really hate it for all those guys that never – and hey, I hope Isaac, this is his breakout year. I hope he gets, the shot that he deserves.
He's going to work for it.
Yes,
there's no doubt.
There is no question, but it's just another hindrance, a roadblock in his way to keep him from having his fair shot at getting in there and doing good. So.
Yep. So, anyway, we're going to go on to talk about local stuff and leave the talking heads nationally, talk about all this. But, again, if you're a Vol fan and you haven't heard the news, Nico Iamaleava, the quarterback, is leaving the University of Tennessee over the NIL deal. Jake Merklinger and George McIntyre, of course, the backups, both five-star players recruited by Tennessee. And I've even heard word that Tennessee may have already had contact with someone in the transfer portal. But they'll move on without Nico, and so the college football world will keep turning.
You heard it here first. Look for Nico to land in Oregon.
I would not be surprised at all. Or Southern Cal, probably one of the two, I would say would be the most likely. Guys, the DeKalb Saints last night shut out all good, 3-0. And we need to talk about some soccer because these guys are 7-0. We had them on the show a couple of weeks ago. Things are starting to get serious with this soccer program. They are 7-0, and the way things are kind of playing out right now, they're actually tied for third place, but they're undefeated in their conference. Prescott sets at 8-0, and guess what? Coming up Tuesday, the Saints are going to be playing at Prescott. This Saints team, guys, they're for real. I think they've given up 2 goals in conference play so far, and they've scored like 45. I mean, they're for real. Casey, Coach Justin Noakes, he's got to be excited where they are right now. Of course, you don't want to get too excited because you still got some key matches coming up. They've got Avery Trace still on the schedule. Prescott, but as we talk about DeKalb West baseball kind of being in the driver's seat, I feel like the Saints are in the driver's seat in their conference.
Oh, they absolutely are. That team is on a roll right now. It's always good to go to Cookeville and steal wins from Prescott and Avery Trace. But that team, they are built for success. Coach Noakes has got that team right where he needs them to, and this is just the beginning. Those they're going to go a long way.
And again, coming up with some huge matches, but Coach 7-0, and of course we've been talking about the high school soccer program and how things are falling in line for them. They're right in the thick of their race. A big 2-0 win over Livingston Academy, their 99th district program win. It's an exciting season in DeKalb soccer, top to bottom.
It really is. And we look at DeKalb Middle School soccer, boys, girls, it's always the same way. Avery Trace, all good, Prescott, DeKalb. Mm-hmm. Or DeKalb, and DeKalb Middle. And so you kind of throw that in there. But I like the comparison shop.
Yeah.
And they get the big win over Livingston, 2-0. I thought, wow, and then we look at what you sent us, and you got Prescott at 7-0-1, and you got All Good at 7-0-1, and they tied, and they both gave up a goal apiece. Mm-hmm. And then our Saints go in there and just wipe the floor with the team that was undefeated and at the top of the standings. And you compare, wow, Prescott can't be any better.
Yeah.
They're not 9 goals better. And things looking good.
And the thing that you look at, they've had 3 mercy rule wins, have the Saints. I mean, it's not like they're just scraping by teams. They are blowing teams out. And, of course, we had Giovanni Desarena on the show a couple weeks ago, too. Giovanni is just a prodigy and has just been a force. In fact, after they beat Overton County 10-1 on Wednesday, I text Justin and was asking for some stats. He said, Giovanni had so many goals, I just can't keep up with it anymore. But it's not all about him. He's got a great team around him, and when you're only giving up 2 goals in an entire season, Casey, that says a lot about your defense, too.
It sure does. Defense, what is it, Coach? Defense wins championships.
They'll get Coach started on defense.
Yeah.
Defense likes a little offense, too.
Monday night, the Saints will be home. They've got Jackson County, and we're looking at the possibility of trying to live stream that game. We were going to try to do the Tigers and Livingston soccer game on Thursday. The weather got a little freaky out there, and so we sort of pulled back because we got a lot of equipment, and there's not really a structure for us to broadcast from, and we hated that we missed out on that match, especially with Livingston, with DeKalb getting the win over Livingston. But we're hoping to do middle school soccer coming up on Monday. We'll have an announcement about that if we get it all worked out. West School, I know we talk about them a lot, but for obvious reasons. They're leading their conference right now, and Coach, some kid named Midget threw a perfect game earlier this week. Now, I know his dad's going to poo-poo this, but you and I are not going to.
Yeah, I was about to say, I can't wait to hear Casey's comments about, the batters had blinders on or something, or I don't know, throwing smoke screens. There's going to be something, but, and then Kelly fires back that he hits a home run his first at bat in the second game, and it's like,
Yeah. So what about this midget kid, Casey? He seems like 9 strikeouts, perfect game, and a big win over Stone Memorial on Wednesday. Then he comes back, like you mentioned, went 3 for 3, actually, even in that second game with the home run at 2 RBI, 3 runs scored. I'm going to brag on him because obviously that's a pretty darn good day's work.
Every dog has his day, I guess. I tell you who I've been most impressed with about that West School team. No kidding, though. It's not Reed. It's Maddox Piper. And she's not here to defend him or poo-poo him or whatever. But he's been the most improved player, I think, on that team. He's been very consistent at the plate, and he has worked his way up the rotation into really the number 2 starter. They've transitioned Colin into sort of the reliever role of it, and man, it was a really good move. He is a hard thrower, and he comes in and adds a lot of relief. He can really confuse the batters. Once somebody gets tired in the game. Just really proud of them all. They did good, Reed. Proud of Reed. I mean, I still say that was a weak team, but, he got up there and battled. Towards the end of that game that he pitched, they sort of, I thought, did him a little dirty. They started trying to bunt on him, and they couldn't even bunt on him, which that was probably the proudest I was of him, to be totally honest. But he's a competitor. Reed's got a lot of drive to him, and if we were having a sock rolling contest, he'd fight you over who's the one that got the ball the tightest in there. So But they're all like that, and that's what makes that team so special. They're going to go a long way.
Yeah.
I really believe that they've got a shot this year to really do a lot of damage.
So, and that's the second no-hitter of the season. You mentioned Maddox. Maddox threw one back early in the year against Cumberland County. So we got a no-hitter, a perfect game. That says a lot about the pitching. You mentioned how well Maddox has been playing. He has been tearing it up as well.
Yeah, and Colin, I don't want to discount him at all either. He is every bit as good as he's always been. He comes in there and it throws really hard and gets a lot of outs.
All right, someone else has been playing very well, and that's the Lady Tiger tennis team. We're going to talk some tennis when we come back. And again, bottom of the hour, we'll talk some track and field. Much more still to come. This is DC Blitz, and we're presented by DeKalb County Insurance.
Unrivaled service and practical advice from Jeff and Grant James at DeKalb County Insurance. With auto, homeowners, life and annuities, property and liability, Medicare supplement, and business policies available. Receive seriously good insurance with great coverage and prices. DeKalb County Insurance is an independent agency that shops multiple carriers, such as Erie, Allstate, Travelers, State Auto, Progressive, and many more. Call today for a quote. DeKalb County Insurance, 615-597-0660.
Hey, Sam!
Who said that? Cheryl? What are you doing up there?
My bank always leaves me up in the air. I'm still waiting for an answer. Oh, darn birds.
Well, switch to First Bank. They have fast local decision makers and the latest banking products and digital.
Whew, what a relief. I'll call First Bank. When I was up there, I saw a branch near me.
First Bank never leaves you hanging. Bank local. Get more. Member FDIC.
As first-time home buyers, navigating the real estate market can be both exciting and daunting. At Farmhouse Realty, we understand your unique needs and are dedicated to guiding you through the process with ease. With our extensive knowledge of DeKalb County and its surrounding areas, we can help you find your dream home or sell your existing property at the best possible price. Give us a call today at 615-597-FARM. That's 615-597-3276, or check out our listings at farmhouserealty.org.
Bad Boy Mowers' legendary reputation for strength, performance, and value is now available with Bad Boy tractors. From mid-size to subcompact models powered by 22 to 35 horsepower water-cooled diesel engines, your tractor work just got real easy. On the farm, the ranch, or even around the house, Bad Boy tractors deliver power and durability all day, every day. Bad Boy tractors work with an attitude. Find your big boy tractor at Southern Landscape Supply, 611 Rich Froning Way in Cookeville. Visit them online at thesouthernlandscapesupply.com.
Ranger brake offers made in the USA, assembled in the USA, and world-sourced brake lines so that they can meet all levels of market demand. That helps them maintain a good, better, and best approach to giving customers the options they need to succeed with ease. Ranger Brake has a second-to-none qualifying process which ensures each and every product is certified before it's actually sold in the USA. By providing qualified products that are tested in the USA, Ranger Brake is doing their part to keep it safe out on the roads. Ranger Brake, proud supporters of all DeKalb County athletics.
Prompt, professional, and courteous healthcare services. That's what you find when you visit Good Health Family Clinic, 414 East Broad Street in Smithville. When you're on the go, you can't afford to be sick. The staff at Good Health Family Clinic is committed to getting you back on your feet and feeling better as soon as possible. They are locally owned, so you know you're being helped by people from right here at home, who you know and trust. Good Health Family Clinic accepts most insurances and is currently accepting new patients. Call to schedule an appointment, 615-597-4432. Good Health Family Clinic. Your family's good health is our mission.
In a world of bank mergers and acquisitions driven by the bottom line, Wilson Bank and Trust remains focused on serving the community. We're local. We're independent. The people who make decisions and help you at the window are your neighbors and friends. As your local, independent bank, Wilson Bank and Trust takes a personal approach to business by providing customized banking needs while staying committed to serving our communities across Middle Tennessee. Let our team of local banking professionals show you the hometown difference. Wilson Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC.
Are you ready to elevate your commercial space? Look no further than Taylor's Construction. With years of expertise in the industry, Taylor's Construction specializes in all aspects of commercial construction. Whether you're planning a new office or any large-scale project, we've got you covered. Our team excels in drywall installation and metal stud framing, and we ensure precision and quality that meets your highest standards. Ready to start your next project? Don't wait. Call us today and experience the Taylor's Construction difference. Call 615-684-5068.
Smithville FBC is proud to support DC Blitz and all DeKalb Sports. We have a place for you to call home on Sunday mornings and Wednesday night. We have nursery available. Pre-K through 5th graders are welcome to join Faith Kids. 6th through 12th graders are welcome to join FBC students, and everyone's outside of that is welcome to join all of our adult ministries. We meet Wednesday nights at 6, and Sunday morning small groups begin at 9 with worship at 10. Join us at Smithville FBC. It's a place to call home.
DC Blitz presented by DeKalb County Insurance. You know, it's the day after prom, it seems kind of early for prom, but I want to thank all the student athletes for coming out this morning because they had late nights and had to get up early this morning to be here. Way too early, I'm sure.
We're probably just walked in.
Do what?
They probably just walked in.
Yeah, probably did. Probably just got out of bed and ran out. You know, girls are always got to fix up, especially for video. But Charlotte Paladino and Jayde Lester of the DeKalb County High School tennis team here. In fact, one of y'all's teammates was supposed to be here. Maybe prom was a little too much. But y'all have fun? Y'all both go to prom?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun.
Okay. Charlotte?
I did not.
You didn't go to prom?
Yep.
Move that mic a little closer to your mouth there. So, well, thank you both for getting up regardless and being out here this morning.
Did you go to sleep last night?
I did. I worked at Sonic Driving in Smithville last night.
Okay, all right. Well,
it's a lot harder than going to prom.
She's not making money. All the rest of them were out spending money. So
Exactly.
she's got her head on right. Ladies, a 7-3 season so far for the DeKalb County tennis team. This is the best season y'all have had in quite a while. When I say y'all, I mean the program in general. Charlotte, you being a senior, what have you seen since your first year to now that's been the biggest change?
It's been really cool to watch for sure. So my first year as a freshman was also Coach Cadle's first year coaching. And so I really have got to see just like how much he has put into this program and to see it progress. And it's been really cool. And I feel like this year's the first year that we really feel like our team as a whole is really solid. And before it was like the first 3 seeds were good and then it would just drop.
Yeah.
But like now we have like W's in all 6 spots.
Yeah. So from a confidence perspective, how much has that changed since your freshman year? And I'm talking about the team as a whole, and of course that'll factor in individually for you as well. Confidence, how has it grown since your freshman year to now in the entire program?
Yeah, I feel like we're like before, it felt like we really couldn't compete very well. And it was a little discouraging. And tennis was still a lot of fun, but now it's like the aspect of it's really fun, but also like we can compete now and we have that aspect.
Yeah.
And it's fun because we can win now. So.
Do you kind of embrace the leadership role as a senior?
Yeah. Yes. And I'm team captain this year. So that's been really cool just to navigate that and get to be a leader in all different aspects, being the first seed and then also just as a leader on the team. I strive to be, yeah. So.
Tennis and golf to me seem like two of the most mental sports that you can be off mentally, and no matter how good you are physically, you can really be. Do you sense that, and do you make it a kind of a focus to pick teammates up when you see maybe they're not completely locked in mentally?
Yeah, for sure. Tennis is very much a mental game, and we see that all the time, and so. That actually is funny you mentioned that. I had our last tennis match we played. My doubles partner, Candice Rico, she was playing her singles match. And they were going for a while, but I really wanted to go and cheer her on because I could tell from a distance that she was so in her head.
Yeah.
But they had a fence blocking it off, so I couldn't go support her.
No.
And it was awful. And she went into tiebreaker and lost 12-14, and it was really hard on her. And it just was hard on me because, as her teammate, I want to go support her because I know how mental tennis is.
Sure.
And so it's really good to have people supporting you there. But yeah, it's definitely a mental game for sure.
Jayde, how hard is it to stay focused during a tennis match for you to keep that mentality locked in throughout the entire match?
So for me personally, I usually get very angry whenever I play, so I have to stay calm. So I just tell myself, like, get over this point. Yeah, you did bad on the last one. Try to get this one.
Yeah.
And I just try to focus on my mentality to stay positive and know that I can come back.
Have you ever smashed a racket?
I've smashed it into my foot, not on the
no.
ground.
That hurts though, right?
No.
What's the strongest point of your game?
My strongest point? Like, what do you mean?
What do you feel is your serve your best attribute? Or
Yeah, my serve. I worked on it really a lot during the summer. So that's what I've always wanted to focus on. I always tried to slam it my sophomore year, my first year playing. And it did not go well.
Oh, no.
And then during the summer, I worked on it over and over and over. And now it's my best point.
What is the most difficult aspect of serving? I've played tennis. That was always something that just was beyond me. What's something fundamentally that you always have to keep in mind when you're serving?
I feel like the contact, like you have to swing at the exact right time. Because if you swing it at the top, it's going to go long. If you swing it at the bottom, it's going to go short. So you have to hit it right in the middle. So just like timing, you have to work with that.
Sure. I always hit the top of the racket or the bottom of the racket or just swing and miss altogether, kind of like baseball. All right, Coach.
Charlotte, you've talked about how the climate has changed in your 4 years of being there. Y'all have 4 assistant coaches, is that right?
I guess
Something
so.
like that?
Yeah.
For both of y'all, and y'all can piggyback off each other, whatever. Describe a practice, a normal practice, because you're sitting there with 5 coaches total, and you've got boys and girls, and describe a practice.
Right.
Your typical whatever.
Okay. So usually we do have 4 coaches. We have Coach Cadle and then Coach Ramsey. And then Coach Pauly and Coach Kennedy is new this year. So Coach Kennedy is kind of like our conditioning coach. She works us to death. So, in a practice, when all 4 coaches are there, usually we'll have Coach Pauly working with the JV. And then the varsity will rotate between Coach Kennedy, Coach Cadle, and then Coach Raymond. We'll just run different drills at each station and usually work on each drill for about 35 minutes. So, yeah, I mean, it's good. I really, I don't know. It varies a lot between what kind of drills we do, just depending on what they feel like we need to work on from our last match and things. They'll really hone in on that specifically.
Sure.
So.
Is there a coach that is the serving specialist and then a backhand or a volley or a doubles?
Not really. Like we just Coach Cadle, sometimes he'll do drop shots or we'll work on our serves. Sometimes, we have drills for our serves and stuff like that, but we just do different drills every single time.
Both of y'all play singles and doubles. Charlotte, which do you prefer?
Oh, it's so hard. It really depends. I enjoy them both so much, and there's definitely different aspects to both of them. I feel like I can personally have a lot more fun playing doubles, knowing that not all the pressure's on you. And if you have a doubles partner that you have good chemistry with, it's a lot of fun. So probably, fun aspect, doubles. But, you definitely get more, play time in singles, obviously, because it's all just you. And I would say the satisfaction of winning a singles match is greater than a doubles match.
I have to ask this question, though. Playing doubles, have you ever hit a teammate in the back?
Oh, yes.
Okay, good. I just want to know that I'm not the only ones that were done that.
You're supposed to ask if you ever did that on purpose.
Oh, okay.
You gotta,
I thought that was kind of implied, too, though. But anyway, sorry, Coach.
So, Jayde, what are your thoughts?
I would definitely choose doubles. I like being challenged during singles, but my doubles partner, Kaylee Horsch, she's also in the same grade as me, and we go together so well. We're 7-2 right now in the doubles, and so that's what we're going to be playing at the district as well. So I just love doubles.
Okay, Jayde, keep going with this. What is the communication between the 2 doubles partners? Talk about that a little bit.
So every time that we get a point together, or it's been a really difficult rally, or we've been challenged, we always like to give each other encouragement after the point is played out. So we'll tell each other it's good, we'll give each other a high five, or we'll hit our rackets together. So we just like to build each other up and just tell ourselves that we got this.
When the opponent is serving, is there a signal or something about who's staying back, who's flipping over, that kind of stuff? I think that's more what I was looking for.
Usually, you got the court, right? And so the opponent's here, and then usually the player will be on this side, and then this one be up. But me and Kaylee, what we like to do is we both stay back, and then once Kaylee returns the serve, she'll run up so that because she's better at net and I'm better at back. So that's how we like to play.
Okay, cool.
Go ahead, Casey.
You won how many games last year? One, is that right?
Do what?
Last year, how many games did y'all win?
The team 6, I think.
I have no idea. Not
6.
very
They won.
many.
According to Coach Cadle, they won six altogether last year.
What's been the difference? What's made the huge turnaround this year?
I would say definitely just each individual player that we had from last year putting in the effort in the off season has really, really grown our team, and just how much Coach Cadle has poured into the team and Coach Ramsey in the off season, and just really building up those players like all year round. And so we've come back really strong. It's been really cool. I remember the first practice I saw Jayde and I saw her forehand and I was like, whoa.
Something's changed.
Yeah.
you know, and I've heard Luke talk about this too. Y'all have talked about Coach Cadle a lot, and about what all he's poured into. What has he done? What do you mean when you say he's poured into the tennis team? What specifically has he done?
Well, he's always trying to get us to play in tournaments. What's that? He's done junior team tennis. I think did he start that up?
Yeah. I think we were talking about that last week. Yeah.
And so he's getting players also from outside of DeKalb County to come in. So that's really cool because the players that on our team that have been involved in junior team tennis, when we go and play other counties, sometimes there's kids that came to DeKalb to play junior team tennis. And so there's that connection too, and it's really fun. But no, just all year round, he's been, I got text like over the summer and just all year round. Yeah. Can you come out to the courts to this practice of junior team tennis? He's just really making sure that you're getting on the courts and staying active in the sport.
Yeah. I have one more question.
Okay.
So we talked about this before we come on air. Just so everybody in the public knows that I'm not just making this stuff up. If you were to look at an average time, like say when Luke and Jackson were rolling in, would you think it was possible that they had been up all night drinking before they got to that court?
Yes.
I appreciate that.
I think the piggyback question is, were they actually up all night? So when it comes to tennis, in any sport, we always talk about rivalries. Do y'all have a rival in tennis?
So it's kind of everybody in the whole district is like, we just got to beat Cookeville. Cookeville has always been our rival. We have yet to play Cookeville yet because our match got canceled. But I've heard that they're down this year because they lost 4 senior girls.
Yep.
So we're really excited about that.
Is that Monday y'all play Cookeville?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Is it here or is it there?
There.
Yep.
Would you be embarrassed if I brought air horns? Okay.
Perfect.
I am willing to use them for you. So, I have been kicked out of a tennis match before for that reason. I am willing to go out again.
That's awesome.
I can completely see that. Well, ladies, y'all are having a fantastic season, and tournaments get underway not too late. The district tournament, all right. Now, how does that work? Because I guess it's a little bit different, but do you go as individuals, doubles? How does it work?
Yeah, so coach just kind of sees how you've played all season and what really has been your strong suit. I've played doubles 2 times in the districts. When Bryn Harvey was my doubles partner, I played with Bryn. And I'm playing singles this year for the 2nd time. And so, I'm looking forward to that. The district is usually really hard because for some reason the sun decides that it just really wants to on us.
Death ray.
So there's that aspect, but also we're playing 2 sets of 6 at the least. So it's definitely more intense in every aspect in the districts, whether you're in singles or doubles. 2 times my doubles match has lasted 2.5 hours.
Wow.
And so, it's pretty intense.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Where is district this year?
It's always in Cookeville because
Always
they have the
okay.
most courts and they're nice. Yeah.
Okay. Well, ladies, we wish you the best as you wrap up the regular season. With tournament time, we'll be following and hopefully go and knock them out. And it's been a great year already, and I think it's going to get even better before it's over. Thank y'all so much for getting up and coming out this morning.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Charlotte Paladino and Jayde Lester, our guests, talking some Lady Tiger tennis. We'll shift gears and talk some track and field when we come back. We're watching. I don't know. Somebody's watching. Hopefully, DC Blitz, presented by DeKalb County Insurance.
Teamwork, accountability, honesty, showing respect, dependability. These are all qualities that I began learning as an athlete growing up in DeKalb County. Hi, this is Tennessee Assistant Golf Coach Payne Denman. Whenever you're looking for a teammate that has your back, look no farther than my friend Grant James and the team at DeKalb County Insurance. Give them a call today at 615-597-0660 or visit them at www.decabinsurance.net.
There's nothing like homegrown. Around here, nothing grows better than local businesses and families. It's because starting on common ground makes things just shoot up. Just look at those neighborhoods and business districts. Around here, it's always growing season.
At First Bank, we share your hometown and your love for our community. That means you get down-to-earth local lenders who get down to business faster. First Bank. Bank local, get more. Member FDIC.
As first-time home buyers, navigating the real estate market can be both exciting and daunting. At Farmhouse Realty, we understand your unique needs and are dedicated to guiding you through the process with ease. With our extensive knowledge of DeKalb County and its surrounding areas, we can help you find your dream home or sell your existing property at the best possible price. Give us a call today at 615-597-FARM. That's 615-597-3276, or check out our listings at farmhouserealty.org.
Bad Boy tractors are born from the legendary Bad Boy mowers from 20 to 35 horsepower. Subcompact to midsize, Bad Boy combines power, performance, comfort, and, as always, builds strength to deliver the workhorse dependability you need to get the job done and done right. Homeowner, landscaper, or rancher, there's a Bad Boy tractor for you to work with an attitude. Find your Big Boy tractor at Southern Landscape Supply, 611 Rich Froning Way in Cookeville. Visit them online at thesouthernlandscapesupply.com.
Ranger brake offers made in the USA, assembled in the USA, and world-sourced brake lines so that they can meet all levels of market demand. That helps them maintain a good, better, and best approach to giving customers the options they need to succeed with ease. Ranger Brake has a second-to-none qualifying process which ensures each and every product is certified before it's actually sold in the USA. By providing qualified products that are tested in the USA, Ranger Brake is doing their part to keep it safe out on the roads. Ranger Brake, proud supporters of all DeKalb County athletics.
Prompt, professional, and courteous healthcare services. That's what you find when you visit Good Health Family Clinic, 414 East Broad Street in Smithville. When you're on the go, you can't afford to be sick. The staff at Good Health Family Clinic is committed to getting you back on your feet and feeling better as soon as possible. They are locally owned, so you know you're being helped by people from right here at home, who you know and trust. Good Health Family Clinic accepts most insurances and is currently accepting new patients. Call to schedule an appointment, 615-597-4432. Good Health Family Clinic. Your family's good health is our mission.
In a world of bank mergers and acquisitions driven by the bottom line, Wilson Bank and Trust remains focused on serving the community. We're local. We're independent. The people who make decisions and help you at the window are your neighbors and friends. As your local, independent bank, Wilson Bank and Trust takes a personal approach to business by providing customized banking needs while staying committed to serving our communities across Middle Tennessee. Let our team of local banking professionals show you the hometown difference. Wilson Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC.
Are you ready to elevate your commercial space? Look no further than Taylor's Construction. With years of expertise in the industry, Taylor's Construction specializes in all aspects of commercial construction. Whether you're planning a new office or any large-scale project, we've got you covered. Our team excels in drywall installation and metal stud framing, and we ensure precision and quality that meets your highest standards. Ready to start your next project? Don't wait. Call us today and experience the Taylor's Construction difference. Call 615-684-5068.
Smithville FBC is proud to support DC Blitz and all DeKalb Sports. We have a place for you to call home on Sunday mornings and Wednesday night. We have nursery available. Pre-K through 5th graders are welcome to join Faith Kids. 6th through 12th graders are welcome to join FBC students, and everyone's outside of that is welcome to join all of our adult ministries. We meet Wednesday nights at 6, and Sunday morning small groups begin at 9 with worship at 10. Join us at Smithville FBC. It's a place to call home.
DC Blitz presented by DeKalb County Insurance. Well, thank Grant James and the outstanding team at DCI for being our title sponsor since day one of DC Blitz. We want to thank all of our sponsors for being with us. A lot of them have been with us since the beginning as well, and thank them so much. We also want to thank our two guys joining us this morning. Got Dan Rodgers and Michael Gamble of the DeKalb County track and field team.
I was talking about us.
Oh, it did too.
Yeah, well, you know. Gentlemen, good morning. How are you today?
Good. Kind of really tired.
Kind of really tired. Did you go to prom?
No.
No, just stayed up late, right? Okay, all right. So, guys, we were just talking off air, and you said you're kind of new to track and field. Is that right?
Yeah.
So, what made you want to get started with it? Michael, I'll start with you. What kind of made you want to get started with track and field?
Well, my 7th and 8th grade year, I ran cross country.
Yeah.
And I liked it, but I never really liked the distance part.
Right.
I was more of a sprinter, so I didn't I had to wait to do track here because we got to be in high school to go to Warren.
Sure.
So I just really like sprinting, so that made me want to try out for the team.
Move that mic a little bit closer to you. That way we can pick you up a little bit better. So, what events do you compete in?
The 400, the 4x1, and the 4x4.
Okay, kind of explain those to us, if you will, how each one of those work.
So the open 400 is where you and 6 or 7 other people race one lap around.
Okay.
In the fastest time you can get. And then the 4x4 is the relay race where each one of y'all have to run a lap and then you'll pass a baton over until the 4th leg, and which we've done pretty good in that this season.
Yeah.
And then the 4x1 is just where we all go to a corner and we all have to run 100 meters until we get a full lap.
Okay.
Passing the baton for the relay.
I got you. Okay. Dan, what about you? What events do you compete in?
I'm on the 1600.
Okay. So what is that?
That's the mile.
Okay. So so a little distance to that, right?
Yeah.
What's your best time?
6:45.
6:45. And what's average maybe in that? Is that
the average for the other kids in total is probably 4 or 5 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So how do you train for that? I mean, how do you kind of practice, so to speak?
Really long distance runs, 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Michael, same question to you. How do you sort of practice for the events that you compete in?
Well, the practices she has us do, we'll run the practice we did the other day, what was it? 300 meters. We had to run a 400. It was a 400. We did a 30-second to 60-second break.
Yeah.
And then we'd run 100 as hard as we could. And then we get a 60-second break, and then we'd run 200.
Okay. All right. So, Dan, when you go to these meets, are there typically a lot of schools there? Is it 2 or 3 schools? Kind of describe a meet and how those work.
I don't really count, but there's a lot of schools. Yeah.
So, in total, maybe how many competitors do you feel like are there at each one?
Well, there's 10 schools.
Yeah.
Sometimes 15.
Okay.
So there's a lot of people that show up. The football field's always filled up with people.
Wow. Okay. All right, Coach.
Yeah, because you've got all of these sprinting events and mid distance and then long distance, and you've got the field events, and so you probably have 25 or 30 members on your team just for the boys, right? That sound pretty close?
Yeah.
Wow.
And you multiply that times 10 to 15 teams, and you've got a house full.
You sure do.
Michael, I'll start with you. You're talking about running some relays. Is that more fun, or would you rather just be on your own and run your 400?
The relay part is fun because that's helped me get to know a lot of the people from Warren, because there's a lot of people I don't know. So running the relays helped me meet people, and I like it a lot because it's fun to compete with a whole bunch of other people, just one other person or two.
What is the hardest thing or the most difficult, the most important thing about a baton exchange?
Oh, I couldn't really tell you. Ours isn't that good either. We always
Don't drop it.
Yeah, don't drop it.
Is there how much time does it take to practice when you need to start if you're receiving the baton from somebody as opposed to how close they are to you? Isn't there a lane or an area?
Yeah, there's, they have 2 blue arrows that you can only run between. And usually whenever they're coming back, when they're coming around, you'll look what hand it is, you'll turn around, and then they will yell go, and you'll start going slow and running off, and then they'll pass it to you, and you'll take off and start running.
Have you dropped?
No, I've not dropped.
You have not dropped. Awesome. What leg are you typically in the 4x400?
I've ran second leg.
Second leg. Do you think that's a pretty good slot for you?
Yeah. They tried to get me run first leg at the last race. I was not there for it.
What's the difference? Explain that, like, being first leg and second leg.
Well, usually you want your fastest people to be first and last leg.
Okay.
Then in the middle is just to stay kept up with them.
Sure.
In which I keep up pretty good with the people in my second leg. But our first leg, you mostly want them to be fast.
Okay.
What is your fastest 400 time?
They have me down for a 59 solid.
Which is pretty good. So if we think in terms of a mile and a 4-minute mile or 4:15 whatever, basically you're looking at 60 seconds per lap because you have 4 laps of those. But you think about the endurance of being able to maintain that.
Yeah.
Dan, high school cross country is what, 3.2 typically?
3.1.
Just 3.1 miles. Has that really helped you navigate the 16-meter course?
Yeah, a lot.
So is the training any different? You do have to do any kind of speed training?
Yeah, our coach usually makes me we all do the same workout. So
when you're finishing your 1600, do you have much of a kick left? Do you plan on that, work on that, or you're just spent by the time you get there and it's all the same pace?
I'm spent, yeah.
You're spent? Okay. Gosh, it's just, if you've never been, it can be engrossing and engaging. You may think I know nothing about it, but then you start to get overwhelmed by everything that's taking place. 2 or 3 things are happening at the same time. Something's coming up right behind you, and you're doing 3 or 4 events. I'm done with this one. I've got to rest. I've got to rehydrate, and I've got to get to my next spot to do the next one. And then you start looking at team scores, and you get points for first, second, and third. Is that as far as they go down on points?
First to fifth.
First to fifth. So, I mean, and it can change in a hurry.
Yeah.
It really can. So, I'm proud of y'all guys for doing that.
I want to know something, because in a lot of sports, they make you run for punishment. In cross country and track, what do they do for punishment? You're already running as it is.
Got to go sit in the corner.
Well, one of the practices we had this year, I had slides on because I forgot my shoes.
Yeah.
She made me sit down and do core workouts the whole time.
I don't know what's worse. That's terrible.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. But yeah, I like the idea of just go sit in the corner. You're here to run, so we don't let you run.
Yep, that's it. Yep.
I'd be in trouble all the time. Yep. Casey?
Well, as you can tell, I'm probably the running expert on this team. I have been chased by the most animals and people here. How many people are on the team?
For DeKalb, 5, I'd say.
4 or 5, yeah.
Chloe, Caleb, me, Dan, Ethan.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. 5.
But y'all intermingle with Warren County?
And then Warren has, I'd say, 20, 30.
Oh, wow.
I've never understood that. So are you 2 separate teams, or are you one team?
We wear Warren's jersey, so we represent as Warren.
Does that hurt a little bit?
No.
Yeah, like, do you feel like you're lesser of an athlete after you're done once you put that jersey on? Or?
No. Last race,
we've been banned from McMinnville now.
Yeah.
Last race, I wore my DeKalb cross country hoodie, and they kept telling me to take it off.
You got to rep the home team sometimes, you know.
Yeah. So, did y'all play any other sports before you just settled on this, or I'm getting at is something lead you to this? Or?
In 5th grade, I played baseball for that 1 year, and I hated it. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't have I just don't think I can play sports that involve balls or anything, because I've just always been good at running. So
there you go.
I tried to stick with it.
Now, see, if you'd stayed with baseball, you could have been a pinch runner.
Dad was a baseball player. I remember.
Yeah, 1 year.
Do you still like that, or you retired from baseball?
Yep.
Okay, I've retired from baseball too, so don't feel bad.
Guys, if you had a goal by the end of the season, something you'd like to accomplish, Michael, what would that be?
Definitely get my 400 time down. Every time I get near the end, I don't ever have enough in me from pushing the start too hard.
Yeah.
So I want to get my 400 time down to like a 56, which is a lot.
Yeah. And you said your best was 59? Is that right? Okay. So, 3 seconds. I know that don't sound like a lot, Coach, but I know you know for sure that is quite a bit. What about you, Dan?
Probably like a 6-minute flat mile.
Okay. And whereabouts are you right now?
6:45.
Okay, so again, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it is.
It is.
So,
It
well,
really
guys,
is. You think about a 40,
Yeah.
4.5, 5 point whatever, and you're thinking about 3 seconds, you're going probably 25, 30 yards in that time. So that's a big difference.
Guys, you got, it looks like on the schedule, a couple more meets, or regular season meets, maybe 3, and then you get to the the Class 3A Section 2 District 3 meet. Have you been part of that before? Is this going to be your first time being involved in that?
This is going to be our first time.
Okay, have they given you any kind of idea what that's going to be like?
Oh, I can already take a guess. There's going to be a lot of quick people.
So is it basically going to be a lot of the teams that, or I guess around this area, gathered into one place? It's not like you're just competing against one or two schools. I mean, is it everybody kind of competing against one another?
So the district is in Rockville, so there's probably going to be a lot of schools going to Murfreesboro that day, so it's probably going to be stacked. I have not checked the entries on that.
Yeah.
I did for the Cookville meet we have Tuesday. I always get to know their times.
Sure. So,
is there a way you can cheat?
I mean, spike them on accident.
On
accident.
I got you. Yep. I like to know all of my options going into something.
Well, guys, I know y'all are having a fantastic season. We appreciate you coming out. And again, I told these guys before we went on the air, I said, this is kind of educational for us because track and field is something we haven't covered a whole lot of, but that and cross country. And Coach Van Branken has been fantastic to work with us, too, to kind of educate us on how all this works. And we know there's a lot involved in it. Guys, thank you for coming out this morning. We really appreciate it. We wish you the best and keep working hard. And I know you're going to reach those goals that you have. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, Michael Gamble and Dan Rodgers, our guests. We'll come back and we'll announce our Good Health Family Clinic Student Athlete of the Week and much more. This is DC Blitz. We're presented by DeKalb County Insurance.
It seems like the cost of everything is on the rise, but Erie Insurance can help make sure your auto insurance premium isn't one of them. Avoid rate increases with Erie Rate Lock. Even if you have a claim, your rates won't go up until you change a car, driver, or address.
Your Erie agent is DeKalb County Insurance. Get a quote today at DeKalbInsurance.net.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Other conditions and limitations at ErieInsurance.com. Go to ErieInsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
At First Bank, when our customers bank local, they get more. More empowered. More informed. Local banking gets them closer to their goals and dreams because they work directly with bankers who know them. With less layers and more personal connection. We're a local bank brand that goes the distance to get customers where they want to be. Which is why we got into banking in the first place. Stop by First Bank at 200 West Main Street in downtown Smithville, or give us a call at 615-597-4366.
As first-time home buyers, navigating the real estate market can be both exciting and daunting. At Farmhouse Realty, we understand your unique needs and are dedicated to guiding you through the process with ease. With our extensive knowledge of DeKalb County and its surrounding areas, we can help you find your dream home or sell your existing property at the best possible price. Give us a call today at 615-597-FARM. That's 615-597-3276, or check out our listings at farmhouserealty.org.
Want a mower that's tough enough to break all the rules? Want everything without sacrificing anything? Want performance for the long haul at an unbeatable value? The perfect balance of power and performance? You want a bad boy mower. Packed with power, muscle, simplicity, and comfort the pro in you demands. It's your time. You deserve a bad boy. Find your big boy mower at Southern Landscape Supply, 611 Rich Froning Way in Cookville. Visit them online at thesouthernlandscapesupply.com.
Ranger brake offers made in the USA, assembled in the USA, and world-sourced brake lines so that they can meet all levels of market demand. That helps them maintain a good, better, and best approach to giving customers the options they need to succeed with ease. Ranger Brake has a second-to-none qualifying process which ensures each and every product is certified before it's actually sold in the USA. By providing qualified products that are tested in the USA, Ranger Brake is doing their part to keep it safe out on the roads. Ranger Brake, proud supporters of all DeKalb County athletics.
Prompt, professional, and courteous healthcare services. That's what you find when you visit Good Health Family Clinic, 414 East Broad Street in Smithville. When you're on the go, you can't afford to be sick. The staff at Good Health Family Clinic is committed to getting you back on your feet and feeling better as soon as possible. They are locally owned, so you know you're being helped by people from right here at home, who you know and trust. Good Health Family Clinic accepts most insurances and is currently accepting new patients. Call to schedule an appointment, 615-597-4432. Good Health Family Clinic. Your family's good health is our mission.
In a world of bank mergers and acquisitions driven by the bottom line, Wilson Bank and Trust remains focused on serving the community. We're local. We're independent. The people who make decisions and help you at the window are your neighbors and friends. As your local, independent bank, Wilson Bank and Trust takes a personal approach to business by providing customized banking needs while staying committed to serving our communities across Middle Tennessee. Let our team of local banking professionals show you the hometown difference. Wilson Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC.
Are you ready to elevate your commercial space? Look no further than Taylor's Construction. With years of expertise in the industry, Taylor's Construction specializes in all aspects of commercial construction. Whether you're planning a new office or any large-scale project, we've got you covered. Our team excels in drywall installation and metal stud framing, and we ensure precision and quality that meets your highest standards. Ready to start your next project? Don't wait. Call us today and experience the Taylor's Construction difference. Call 615-684-5068.
Smithville FBC is proud to support DC Blitz and all DeKalb Sports. We have a place for you to call home on Sunday mornings and Wednesday night. We have nursery available. Pre-K through 5th graders are welcome to join Faith Kids. 6th through 12th graders are welcome to join FBC students, and everyone's outside of that is welcome to join all of our adult ministries. We meet Wednesday nights at 6, and Sunday morning small groups begin at 9 with worship at 10. Join us at Smithville FBC. It's a place to call home.
We're back on DC Blitz, presented by DeKalb County Insurance. We'll thank our producer, Daniel Leslie, back behind the scenes, doing all the hard work for us this morning. We'll thank all of our guests for coming out this morning. Charlotte Paladino, Jayde Lester, Dan Rodgers, Michael Gamble. We've learned a lot today. We've learned about, hitting people in the back with a tennis ball and what the 400-meter is. And I consider our program to be educational. I learn something new every week, guys.
PBS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we do.
Professional bull session. PBS. Guys, one sport we hadn't talked enough about, I think, and they've really gotten on a roll lately. And it just goes hand in hand with all the success our middle school programs have been having, and that's the Lady Saints softball team. They have won 5 games in a row. All of a sudden, they've gone from 2-6 to 7-6. They're 7-3 in their conference. They swept a doubleheader against All Good earlier in the week. And in fact, in the second game, they had to rally in the bottom of the last inning, down 13-11 to win a shootout, 14-13. And Coach Jacobs McGregor and Coach Leslie there, guys, they've turned a corner. And Casey, I think this softball team, they're playing with a lot of confidence. They just win after win. They beat a good Upperman team during this run, and I think they've got a lot of confidence, and they're kind of peaking at the right time here coming down the home stretch.
Yep. We've talked a lot about the athletes on the boys' side in the middle school, but I'm telling you right now, the athletes that are girls in the middle school are just as competitive and just as good. I think we get a little jaded by basketball because, the thing is, basketball is a total different sport. You're either a basketball player or you're not. And sometimes pure athleticism can't overcome that, especially if you're playing a true basketball team. So you got to throw basketball out. You look at softball and soccer, these girls are incredible. They are strong athletes. They're very super competitive. All of them are. And that's what you need to have a good team in anything. I know they started out slow, but it was a brand new year. The coaching staff hadn't totally figured out everything. They got a really early start. It was just a very, truncated timeline they had at the very beginning. You've given that team some time to gel now. You've given that coaching staff time to kind of sort of figure things out a little bit better. And look what the results are.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be a very dangerous postseason team.
And take a look at some of the stats from the games earlier in the week. We mentioned that the couple of wins there over All Good. You got Paisley Taylor, 3 for 4, 2 RBI, 2 runs scored. Presley Harrington that game, 2 for 2, 3 RBI. Caroline Neal, 1 for 1, drew a couple of walks, 2 RBIs. You know, Kennedy Odom has been pitching really well. Paisley Taylor's been pitching really well. We're just touching on a few names here. Carly Trammell, 2 for 4, 3 RBI, 2 runs scored. I know you're familiar with some of these kids, Casey, but when you start looking at these box scores for the Lady Saints, it's not 1 or 2 players making the difference. It's really an up and down the lineup. And in fact, I think in that second game against All Good the other day, I think every kid on the roster got a hit, or not on the roster, but who got into the game got a hit or at least got on base. There's a lot of talent top to bottom there, and it's a team contribution, and I think that's really what makes them so dangerous.
Little Carly Trammell, I am so proud of that girl. She's a 6th grader,
Yeah.
Come in there and was able to work her way into the leadoff spot of the middle school team. That tells you the talent that is on that team right now. That 6th grade bunch that's in there's a lot of talent there. And then you look at Kennedy. What a ball player she's turned out to be. She comes from the pedigree, Her mom and daddy obviously were very, very good athletes, and she has come in there and really has blossomed over the past couple years. And then, you mentioned Paisley Taylor. That's another kid who's just a slugger. She gets better every year. She has that really competitive spirit about her, and she does not accept defeat. And so you combine all of these attributes into one team. I mean, it's a special team. We need to be talking more and more and more about that girls softball team, because they're going to make some noise in this postseason.
And well, we start with the coach at the beginning of the year, and they lost 3 games by 1 run.
Yeah.
And so, you want to transfer those into wins or whatever percentages, and the record is that much better. So it's a team that's always been on the cusp of being really, really good, and they just got out to a slow start with whatever reason it happened in the background. And then, get down a little bit. Oh, we can't get over the hump. We're losing these 1-run games, and then momentum starts to build, and you win the first and second, now the third in a row, and now you're 4th and you're 5th. You expect to go out there and win.
You think about this. When they started off, what had they just come off of?
Basketball.
Yep. Now.
And literally like a week or two at the most.
It was of no fault of anybody. It was just a season, okay? But I think we can all agree that it was a down season for girls basketball. And after you heard the tennis girls talking about this thing, when you start losing, it's almost like quicksand. And it just feels like you can't get out. You're just going to lose when you show up to something.
Sure.
And what I truly think is it took a few weeks to kind of get the rope to yank them back out of that. You got to forget about basketball, and you got softball. Let me tell you, Mark Pritchard should get a ton more credit for all of the success that any girls softball, especially just now entering middle school, than what he does. You're about to see what happens when kids are worked with a lot on an intensive level and are cared about and are just gathered up and said, all right, whoever wants in, we're going to make you better. That's what has started turning this girls softball team around.
Absolutely.
And is what will make this girls softball team scary for a long time. You're going to have some up and down years in baseball, because me included, none of us have devoted that time to just, we're going to focus on baseball for 365 days a year.
Yeah.
These girls have had that opportunity through Mark and all the bunch that's helped him down there. And I'm telling you, you're going to see a girls softball team roll through that middle school that's going to trickle up to that high school that's going to win multiple championships. You heard it here first. I'm telling you, the day of reckoning is coming for softball in DeKalb
And
County.
it does. It kind of starts with that, not just the Lady Ranger program, but what they're doing with the youth league, everything. And you're right, Casey. And we had Mark on a few weeks ago just talking about that and the kind of work that's been going into that. And again, it's going to lead to success on the middle school level and high school on down the road. Going to be a busy week for the Lady Saints. They've got 4 games in 4 days, Monday through Thursday. They'll host Warren County on Monday. Lady Saints will go to White County on Tuesday. They will host Prescott on Wednesday, and then they will, they're playing on Thursday against Stone Memorial. So back to back to back to back, and there's testing going on this week. So these girls, they're going to have a week, and this is when your medal really gets tested. 4 games in 4 days, testing going on at school. It's going to be a real challenge, and here coming down the home stretch of the regular season.
It is, and I think it's going to be a challenge for the coach because the kids know we're mid-season to late season push. It's mid to late season in the school year, and you're going to start losing the attention span of these kids. I mean, once testing's over, you go ask any don't do that. But it's testing's over,
right?
And then school is what it is for the rest of the school year. So their attention span is going to be gone. Coach has to do a really good job of keeping these kids focused. Maybe that's why we're playing 4 days in a row. We're going to get our mind on softball, and we've got a big push at the end of the year, and we're not done yet.
Yeah. Some of it's due to rescheduling because of the weather, but you got to get these conference games in, and that's what happens here. You kind of bottleneck toward the end of the regular season trying to get all these games in, and fortunately the weather is looking good this week. I think Tuesday is the only day right now. We know how the weather can be fickle where there's any chance of rain, and we certainly hope that we get some nice weather here these next couple of weeks because there's so many big district conference games coming up leading up to the postseason. We're about 2 weeks out from the postseason getting underway for especially middle school. They'll kind of start things off, and then high school around that first week in May really starts getting settled in to the postseason. While we're talking softball, this week's Good Health Family Clinic Student Athlete of the Week is going to be Bryna Pelham of the DeKalb County Tigerette Fast Pitch Softball Team. And Bryna's just been in her senior season. Coach, she's just knocking the cover off the softball. I mean, every time you look and she's batting leadoff for the Tigerettes, 2 for 4, 3 for 4, 3 for 5, runs scored. She don't get a lot of RBI because she's in that leadoff spot, but that's the kind of player you want in that leadoff spot, the one that's going to get on base 2 to 3 times a game, and Bryna's the one that kind of sets the table every game for this Tigerette team and the success they've had this year.
Yeah, that surprised me a little bit to hear that she was leadoff. We had them on a few weeks ago, and to hear that she was leadoff, it surprised me because she looks like a girl that can drive the ball and she can hit the gaps and she can hit with power. And you mentioned, those driving those runs. And it's like Coach Duke has decided, well, I need somebody, a George Springer, who's going to, not be your prototypical leadoff.
Yeah.
Who's going to look for walks. She's probably aggressive at the plate, but she's getting on base 750% of the time.
Sure, yeah.
And so she's going to put herself in scoring position. She's going to set the table for those others. But to me, it was just an interesting idea that we're going to need her to get us started as opposed to, driving runs in with those that get off in front of her.
Yeah, strategery, buddy.
Strategery.
Yeah. It's been such a joy to watch Bryna play all these years. She is a true athlete. She comes from a family of true athletes, and she has carried on that tradition well. And then you have people like Cora Kilgore that's in there who has developed into the scariest pitcher in the district, Gosh, that high school girls softball team is another team that's going to be scary on in the district. They could go a long way, guys. I'm telling you, they can make it a few rounds into this thing, just because of people like Bryna and Cora and all of them that have just really gotten in there and worked hard to become really good players for them.
Absolutely. We congratulate Bryna Pelham again this week's Good Health Family Clinic Student Athlete of the Week. We've not touched on Tiger baseball. A tough week with the Upperman Bees, an Upperman team that it's just a program. It's not just the team this year. They've had so much success over the years, and our young Tigers just really had a tough week against Upperman. Things really pick up this week. You got Monday, Tuesday with Stone Memorial home and away. Thursday, a game at Macon County. Friday at Sequatchie County. And then you turn right back around, a district doubleheader with Cumberland County. They'll get Westmoreland at Central Magnet and Warren County. Again, these last 2 weeks, very, very busy if the weather cooperates. And, Coach, we've seen our Tiger baseball team a couple of times, a couple of games that we've been able to broadcast. It just feels like they're close. But there's that proverbial hump that they're still trying to get over.
It does, and I'm going to catch some of this Casey vibe, and I've said it in anything but football. You have your preseason and you have your district, which is another preseason because you have that district tournament looming.
Yeah.
And we saw it with boys basketball that they weren't supposed to do much in the tournament, and they got a win. They almost got a second win, and they almost went further than what they should have and what they're expected to do. But you've got a group up front in this lineup that you can count on. They're very, very consistent 1 through 4. You have the opportunity, the ability 5 through 9 to extend innings and to flip the order and get it back to the top.
Sure.
A lot of arms. And if they can hit locations, I know we're not talking about the hardest throwers out there, but if they can hit locations and if defense, because when we saw them against Upperman, it was
tough.
Not pretty.
6 errors. Yeah.
But if they can clean that up going into the tournament, it's like all of this is practice.
Sure. Yeah.
Who knows what happens day one of the tournament. And you can get on a roll and you get behind some solid hitting. If hitting gets hot and contagious, and then the pitching steady, then there's no telling what these boys can do.
Well, and you look at the top of that order where you start off with Ty Webb. Dallas Kirby's been hitting the ball well. Tucker Webb is a great 3. And then you got Evan Pritchard, who's really been hitting the ball exceptionally well. All that's starting to kind of come into rhythm. You mentioned the pitching. And I know Coach Webb and his staff, they're still trying to find the right element there. Still a little bit of trial and error, and you've got a couple more weeks to work with that. And you get some more players toward the bottom of that lineup, Casey, kind of hitting the ball a little bit better. The elements, again, are there. It's just finding the right combination and getting hot at the right time, and that's the thing about baseball, and we've seen it even from the professional level on down. You get hot at the right time, you get those pieces to mesh at the right time, good things happen.
It would be interesting to see what the Tigers' record was this time 1 year ago. Very, very ssimilar, okay?
Yeah.
And what happened? They were district runner-ups.
Yeah.
So all of this, we're conditioned as DeKalb County baseball fans that we go out and win every game, okay? That's our expectation. We're going to win every game. But really, it don't really matter. You go into that tournament and you get hot, all bets are off then. Mm-hmm. And so that's what happened last year. Like you say, they've got 2 more weeks to figure this out. Coach Tad and Daniel, they'll all get this thing figured out and look for that team to make some noise in the postseason.
All right, guys, it's going to be another busy week in DeKalb County Sports. We'll have the schedule posted tomorrow morning on the DC Blitz Facebook page. By the way, if you don't follow us, please do. Follow us on Facebook and follow our YouTube channel and keep up with all that's going on in DeKalb County Sports. I can't thank the contributions of our coaches, parents, people who send us information and keep us in the know so we can keep the community in the know. I know we don't get every single thing. We do the best we can, but this not being a full-time gig for any of us, we're trying our best to get as much sports information out as we possibly can. And, of course, the show each week, it's always fun to have coaches and players and keep up to date on what's going on. So, DC Blitz has been a community effort. We thank everybody for the contributions. And for the next 3 to 4 weeks, guys, we're coming down the home stretch of spring sports. Let's just pray the weather it gets it right and stays that way because I've had enough of 50 degrees and cold and misting rain and all that good stuff. We need some good weather down the stretch here, Coach.
Well, wife's heading out of town, and I am still heading to Lowe's and picking up some stuff to plant, but I'm not going to plant until Monday because it's a little bit too frosty. They always plant after tax day, so weather's kind of telling me to follow that guideline.
Yeah.
I've heard different things after tax. Tax day. Not as nice as planning.
Again, we want to thank all of our guests today, Charlotte Paladino, Jayde Lester, Michael Gamble, Dan Rodgers, for coming by. Casey, thank you. I know you had to work today, and it broke your heart that you took some time off work to come out and hang out with us a little while.
Well,
we appreciate
it worked out well. I didn't get text until about 5 minutes ago.
Okay,
so.
well, we got to let Casey get back to work. For Daniel Leslie, of course, who always does a fine job, and a lot of times Daniel's doing about 5 things at once. We appreciate all he does to be the backbone of the show. For Coach, we'll hopefully have Kelly back next week, and we'll have another round of DC Blitz.
Have we talked about where's Kelly? We should have a segment of
Where's Kelly?
Where's Kelly?
Yeah.
Finding Kelly.
Yeah.
Where's Kelly? Yeah. But for all of our staff, and we want to thank you for tuning in for this week's edition of DC Blitz, presented by DeKalb County Insurance. We'll see you next Saturday morning.